To see someone's true character, pay attention to just two things. Have you ever met someone who seemed perfect, charming, generous, even admirable, only to be completely blindsided later when they revealed a side you didn't expect? If you have, you're not alone. We live in a world where appearances are curated like art, personalities polished like glass, and sincerity sometimes feels like a relic of the past. But here's the truth. No matter how sophisticated someone's facade is, the real person always leaks through, in subtle moments most people overlook. And if you know what to watch for, you can spot authenticity faster than you think. In today's story, I'll take you through two life-tested signals that reveal a person's true character, not by what they say, but by what they do when the spotlight isn't on them. These aren't theories from a textbook. These are patterns observed in real life, moments I've witnessed, and lessons that transformed how I build relationships. Clue 1. Watch how they treat people who can't offer them anything. A few years ago, I was at a restaurant with a group of acquaintances. One man in the group, we'll call him Daniel, was funny, well-dressed, and clearly the center of attention. Everyone seemed impressed. But when the waiter accidentally brought him the wrong drink, Daniel's tone changed instantly. He snapped, rolled his eyes, and muttered something under his breath. The waiter apologized and tried to fix the mistake, but the damage was done. That mask of politeness? Gone. That moment stuck with me. Because here's the thing. How someone treats those who have no power, no leverage, and no way to repay kindness, that's where true character lives. You can't fake compassion when there's nothing to gain from showing it. Imagine watching someone who opens doors for CEOs but walks past janitors without a glance. That's not forgetfulness. That's selective humanity. When someone greets a receptionist with the same warmth they show their boss, when they say thank you to the bus driver or tip the exhausted delivery worker late at night, that's not just politeness. That's integrity made visible. Psychologists say that these interactions are often the most honest because they're free from performance. There's no incentive, no benefit, just raw behavior. And it's in these unseen moments that truth whispers its loudest. I remember volunteering at a shelter and meeting a woman named Laura. She wasn't a staff member or coordinator. She simply came every week, sat beside the elderly, and held their hands while listening to their stories. She didn't take selfies. She didn't tell anyone what she was doing. And she didn't get anything in return. Not money, not recognition. That's the kind of quiet goodness the world often misses. So the next time you're trying to understand someone, whether it's a colleague, a friend, or even a romantic partner, observe how they interact with people they have no reason to impress. That will tell you more than 1,000 charming conversations ever could. Clue 2. Do they keep their promises, even when it's inconvenient? Now let's talk about the second signal. Promises. Not grand, ceremonial ones, but the small, everyday ones most people forget they even made. Here's why it matters. Anyone can say the right things. But consistency. That takes discipline, respect, and self-awareness. I once had a friend, let's call him Ryan, who was incredible at making plans. He'd enthusiastically say, "We should totally meet up next week," or "I'll help you move Saturday." But when the time came, ghosted. Every time. At first, I made excuses for him. Maybe he was busy. Maybe he forgot. But after the fifth broken promise, I realized something. Ryan didn't value his word, and therefore, he didn't value my time. Breaking a promise isn't just about forgetting. It's about who you choose to inconvenience, yourself or someone else. Following through on your word, especially when it costs you comfort, reveals more about your integrity than any speech about values ever could. Keeping a promise when it's inconvenient, that's character in action. Think of it like this. A person who cancels because they don't feel like it is placing their momentary feelings above their commitment. But someone who shows up tired, late, or struggling, yet still shows up, sends a powerful message. You matter more than my mood. There's a concept in behavioral psychology known as self-alignment, the idea that your actions should match your stated values. When there's a gap between what we say and what we do, that gap becomes distrust. Brené Brown, a researcher known for her work on vulnerability and trust, says that trust is built in small moments. Not heroic gestures, but simple things, following through, showing up, and admitting when you fall short. And here's something even more profound. The promises we break to ourselves are often the most damaging. Saying you'll start exercising, wake up earlier, spend more time with family, and then constantly postponing, erodes self-respect over time. Each broken promise chips away at our sense of reliability, even if no one else sees it. Ask yourself, do I keep promises to others but not to myself? Do I follow through only when it's easy? Keeping your word builds trust, not just between people, but within your own identity. It tells your brain, I can count on me. A mentor of mine once shared a story I'll never forget. During a difficult winter, his car broke down miles away from a friend's home. He had promised to visit and help the friend prepare for a family funeral. Most people would have called to cancel. Instead, he bundled up, took a cab halfway, and walked the last mile in the snow. When I asked him why he went through all that, he simply said, I said I would. That's enough for me. That moment changed how I define dependability. So here it is, 2 moments, 2 behaviors, and an entire character revealed. 1. How do they treat those who have nothing to offer? 2. Do they honor their commitments when it's inconvenient? That's it. 2 simple questions. But their answers. They cut through charm, charisma, and even intelligence. Because the truth is, intelligence impresses. Charisma attracts. But character? That's what lasts. In a noisy world where image often overshadows intention, it's these quiet truths that help you choose your people wisely and become a better person yourself. So the next time you're unsure about someone, don't look at how they act on stage. Look at what they do when they think no one's watching. And then ask yourself, do I want to be more like them or less? Because ultimately, the people we surround ourselves with shape us. And the person we become depends on the promises we keep, especially the ones we whisper to ourselves when no one's listening. If this story resonated with you, I invite you to subscribe for more insights on human nature, personal growth, and navigating life with wisdom. And if you know someone who needs to hear this message, share it with them. You never know who it might impact. Thanks for spending this time with me today. Stay kind, stay honest, and above all, stay true to others and to yourself.